Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to put back together a Stanley Ratchet. It can be a bit tricky at first if you don't know what you're doing, but it's not overly hard or difficult. Part number 89818, marked CRV for chrome vanadium, okay? That's the housing on the inside. That's the front. Okay. You're going to notice you have a few parts here. The driver and a gear assembly with the push button release. You don't need to further take that apart. You have this cup. I guess you could call this the internal driver of the ratchet, because the selector connects to the top of that. I don't know if you can see. There you go. There's like a rectangular cutout. And I'll tell you what that's for in a second. There's two springs in there, not under tension, but you need to be careful with those. There's a selector. You have this one spring here. And you have the detent, okay? And two little bearings. Don't lose them. Okay. What you do first is you grab the housing, you put the selector switch through the inside and out the front, like so. Okay, you can't just simply place it on top from the outside. You can't just simply, you can't do this, because it doesn't fit. You run it from the inside out. Okay? Now you can set it aside for a second. In this cup, you're going to notice that you see this cutout right here? There is a hole that faces towards the direction of the cut, and that's where you put the spring in. Okay? This detent has one hole here. Doesn't matter which way you put it. There you go. So what you do is you put the spring in through here, like so, with the spring, the little arm on the spring facing down, like that. You run the detent right here into this one little assembly. Then very carefully you put on the bearings. These are for positive engagement. On the selector switch, when you select on or off, that clicking, well, it's held in place by those bearings, okay? Now this is the tricky part. Face the selector so it's straight. Put the cup and detent assembly in so that it sits flush with the inner body of the ratchet, like so. Can you see it's flush? Because those rectangular cutouts on the selector switch and the cup positively connect. So you can just notice how the little detent on the top right here is moving back and forth. Alright, here's kind of the tricky part. Angle the selector switch so that it's as far right as possible, or left, it doesn't matter. And you'll notice this kind of, I guess you could say, so that the bearing is right in alignment with that, the hole there for the screw to go in when you're done assembling it, like so. Okay. Next, you put the driver, the driver and the gear assembly in. loosening that. Let's start over. There you go. Okay. You kind of have to put it in at an angle. There you go. These little bearings. Then you can test it. I'm just going to take out the bearings for now, but look. You can hold down on the cup so that it doesn't jump up out of its place. One thing you have to ensure is that the selector switch and the cup are touching from the inside. Otherwise, if they're not, when you move the selector, the cup isn't going to rotate. It's just going to sit in the same spot. So once they're like this, you can put the bearings back on the cup assembly here. Okay. You put the faceplate on. This is the front of it. This is the inside of it with the markings. Make sure you put it on the right way. You just slide it on top. You can press down and give it a few tests, engagements. There you have it. You just need to screw this back on, the screws, and you're ready to go. And that's how you put back together a Stanley Ratchet. Hope you enjoyed.